Introduction. Hi there. My name is Melissa Crane. I've been on a pretty crazy life journey, and I'm sure you have too, especially if you've been guided to read this book. It's been packed full of ups and downs, twists and turns, spiritual awakening, ascension, self discovery, and divine union within oneself are all hefty processes that aren't for the faint of heart. It can be overwhelming when spirit comes into your life in a way that can't be ignored, forcing you to open your eyes and truly see yourself, all of yourself. I've learned some massive life lessons through spirit, many times the hard way, sometimes more than once, until I finally, quote unquote, got it. I'm still learning and growing, discovering new ways of being through curiosity and exploration. And I will do this for as long as I'm here in Earth School. I've struggled to find my place in this world, never really knowing where I genuinely fit in, often feeling misunderstood and a bit like a black sheep. For much of my life, I struggled with feeling unseen, unheard, and like I wasn't enough. I was scared to speak up and share my truth because I was afraid of being rejected. For a long time, I wasn't able to acknowledge my worth, yet I was hurt when others didn't see it. There were many times when I thought it would be easier to just give up. For many years, I distracted myself from the mental and emotional turmoil through substance abuse, overexercising, restricted eating, relationship hopping, and anything else that took my focus away from the depression I was feeling at the time. I held deep wounds within my soul. Many times I wondered what all of the pain, suffering, and heartache were for. Nothing ever seemed to change, even after I thought I had done the work required. It felt like I didn't matter. That is, until I surrendered and allowed Spirit to guide me. I traveled deep into my shadowy depths and questioned everything I had previously accepted as truth. My perception began to change, and that's when my life began to change. The beliefs I held about myself shifted. Forgiveness and compassion for myself and others came to the forefront, and little by little, the light I held within grew brighter, and the love I had for myself became stronger and unconditional. I needed to decondition myself from ways of being throughout all my living years. I had to embrace my fear and to free myself from shame and judgment, both self-imposed and otherwise. I journeyed through a cycle that to me felt like death and rebirth. All I wanted and prayed for was to feel better and to be me again. The confusing part was that I didn't even know who I was anymore. I was having a complete identity crisis, or as some may say, an ego death. Everything I once knew to be my life no longer felt right, nor was what I wanted. I felt like a snake who had just shed its skin, vulnerable and sensitive. I felt like a butterfly who had just come out of its chrysalis, transformed and confused. I felt like a baby bird who was just pushed out of the nest and told to fly, frightened, yet free. I had to practice having the courage to speak about all of this and to show up as the person I was beginning to remember I was, without wearing any masks. Certain things would trigger memories of my soul's divine purpose and of a life once lived in a world where magic was real, light was our language, and love was the way. A world free of fear, shame, guilt, and judgment, where we shared our unique gifts with one another and lived together in peace and harmony. A world where we respected the earth as our mother, where time didn't exist and we were guided by the planetary alignments. A world where we allowed the seasons to move us and feed us. In a world where we listened to our bodies and understood that they were an instrument used to experience the emotions of God, Source, Intelligence. A world upon which we weaved a beautiful web with our light while co-creating and experiencing our own unique versions of heaven. Over time, I began to remember that I am a Lightworker. I am a Starseed. I am a Wayshower. I am a spiritual leader. I am a powerful, divine, radiant being of light. I am a channel for grace and joy. I am here to help anchor in the new earth. I walk alongside angels and galactic beings, and I am continuously in a state of balance, flow, creation, death, and rebirth. I am one with all that is. I am that I am. As I write this, the world is in a global lockdown due to COVID-19, and the fear, panic, and uncertainty that has gripped the collective mind are palpable. Even before this crisis, humanity was already facing a pandemic, that of people-pleasing, guilt, sadness, shame, and fear. Harvesting all this dense, low vibratory emotional gunk is what will kill you over time, or at the very least, will eventually result in an explosion of violence and rage for some. There are infinite experiences to be had, yet the raw emotions they provoke are the common denominator. The feelings that lie beneath the surface and the emotions that are triggered are the magical ingredients for compassion. Whether it's gut-wrenching sadness, deep shame, or agonizing fear, whether it's insurmountable grief, hot-blooded anger, or rage, or whether it's ecstatic bliss or unconditional love, these feelings are what people resonate with. The word emotion originates from the Latin word emotere, literally meaning energy in motion. Emotions are to be felt as they arise, without judgment. They are meant to flow and to move energy through and out of your body. In my opinion, emotions are signals for us to pay attention. As they arise, allow them to speak to you. Allow them to show you where the energetic obstructions are in your body. Do not block or repress them, for they need to move. This is where two very different Eastern and Western healthcare philosophies overlap. The chakra system, the meridians, their associated emotions and elements, and their location in the human body are all intricately connected and offer a map to how outside energies affect our internal world. We are the maestros of a brilliant divine instrument. The spiritual quest isn't one of glitter and rainbows and frolicking with unicorns in a fairy tale land, all the while turning your back to the corrupt world of injustice and control. It's quite the opposite. It requires you to walk directly into the storm and to discover everything you have been subconsciously enslaved to. It will bring you face to face with your shadows. It requires commitment and courage to keep digging into the strata of your soul as you uncover your darkest fears, wounds, and deep-set patterns. It forces you to open your eyes and recognize how you are the only one keeping yourself stuck. It shows you how everything you claim to be a victim of actually existed as an opportunity to reclaim your power and rise to glory. Ascension takes you on a humbling journey to ask for immense compassion and love for yourself. It asks you to forgive yourself for everything you have done that betrayed your own heart. The long and winding road to self, albeit rough and jagged, will help you witness the most exquisite beauty your eyes will ever be graced with. The process of transformative alchemy cleans the lens through which you previously perceived your life, allowing you to see clearer and understand more than you ever have before. You begin to see your life in a new and ever expanding way, and things that held you back become propelling forces that move you forward. The love that you feel in and for your body dissolves any fears left standing in the way of your deepest desires. As fear dissolves, space opens up, which will allow for new opportunities to merge and come into union with everything you yearn for. All that you desire is no longer sought for outside of yourself, for once it is cultivated, found, and felt within, your desires will find you. Everything you desire is already within your heart. And as we all learn to live and be guided from that space, the place where our truest essence and divinity resides, we will be met with experiences in our outer world that will reflect that back to us. Every moment, every breath, and every thought exists as an opportunity to choose your direction. With one step at a time, move along your new path. Observe your surroundings with each new step and take time to feel along the way. There is no rush, for there is no other moment than now. I'm excited to share my story with you. Even though it's based upon my personal and unique picture show, I believe the underlying energies, the story itself, and the frequencies it holds will connect with your heart and soul. If, however, what I share doesn't resonate with you, then please do not accept it as your truth. We all walk through life using our own unique set of eyes and with our own unique antennas. As we ascend, expand our awareness, and raise our consciousness, we must learn how to use discernment as we relate to everyone and everything outside of ourselves. Just because someone has a specific view on something doesn't make it the ultimate truth, especially if it doesn't sit well within you. That said, it doesn't make it untrue either. When feelings of dissonance arise, know that you are being offered an opportunity to explore them deeper, rather than simply jumping to judgment of the source from which they are delivered. All I ask is that you continue listening with an open mind and an open heart, and feel what comes up for you. As with anything you hear or see or read out in the world, take what resonates and leave the rest. It's my hope that the teachings shared throughout this story will help you surrender to the guidance of your inner compass and trust its calibration to your true north. Let this journey purify you, warm your heart, and bring sweetness to the container of your soul. Allow yourself to awaken to your spiritual divinity. As you listen, you may find yourself speculating about which parts of my story happened exactly as told and which have been embellished by my imagination. It may shock you to know that it's all true. I believe the best experiences we have in life have been created in our hearts with the help of our imaginations. By volunteering to go along on this ride, it has revealed to me who I am, what we are all a part of, and what I came here to do on this earth. I am here to assist with the ascension of the planet and to help the collective consciousness shift from 3D to 5D by sharing my unique truth whilst embodying love and compassion. It is my highest hope, with the purest intention, from my heart to yours, that by sharing my story, it will lend guidance, support, solace, strength, courage, and light during the dark and stormy times of life that we all inevitably go through.